Hi, everybody. Today I wanted to talk about the Mandalorian and Grogu. I went and saw this just a few days ago. And for this, I took a buddy of mine who's a really big Star Wars fan, mostly because I'm not super into Star Wars. I don't keep up with every single show, I don't keep up with all the books or anything. I've literally just watched, like, the main saga, the episodic ones, and then like Rogue One, which is my favorite. So like I haven't really dove into like the Clone Wars or Rebels or Bad Batch or any of these newer shows that have come out. But I am really, really big on the Mandalorian. I really like the Mandalorian show. Since the first season, I was kind of encapsulated by it because I love the whole Western theme of it. And I really like the Mandalorian, and Pedro Pascal is a good actor. And it was just interesting. It was really interesting. It wasn't hard to understand. It kind of had its own like was kind of its own thing that was going on, but it was in between a couple different episodes of the movies. So, I got pretty into it, and I felt like when it came to The Mandalorian, I didn't have to know a whole lot to know what's going on in that show. Unfortunately for Mando and Grogu, the movie, it does the opposite, where it feels like it's more fan service than it is actual, like, continuing the story of the standalone Mandalorian experience. And when I say that, I don't mean it in terms of like Mandalorian's not in the movie or anything. He's in the movie for the most part. Like, majority of the movie is about him, obviously. He's on camera for majority of this. It's just 2 hours and like 20 minutes of just a mission that I don't really give a shit about. Like for big fans of the series, you might go into this and you might be like, "Oh my god, this is everything I ever wanted," because there's so many like Easter eggs and characters that like my buddy knew that I had no idea who they were. And for me, it felt like, I was thinking like, okay, Mandalorian season 3 ends in like just this soft spot where it's just kind of like, hey, it can go anywhere. And then this picks up. Mando is kind of working for the New Republic. He's bounty hunting for them, all that stuff. And that's really cool. But he's got like this new co-pilot that I don't even know what this guy's name is. They never say his name throughout the whole thing. Turns out I'm supposed to watch Rebels. I'm not somebody who's gonna, it feels like they're turning Star Wars into like Marvel style stuff, and it's Disney obviously, but it feels like they want you to watch every TV show. They want you to be up to date with everything, and it just felt like with the Mandalorian, that's a bad idea. Mainly because it's like, for me as a casual fan, I felt like the Mandalorian resonated with me a little bit more. It felt like I could watch it, like I said before, without knowing a whole lot. And now they're kind of making it where I have to watch a bunch of stuff now to really enjoy it. So when you're listening to me talk about this, I want you guys to understand that I'm not a huge Star Wars fan. So if you're coming into this going, well, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about because he doesn't watch Star Wars, well, that's what my rating's gonna be based on, is the movie itself. And the movie itself just isn't that good. It's just not that good. It's a solid 6.5 out of 10, maybe. It's serviceable. I don't even think kids are gonna go into this really liking this that much. The best parts of the movie for a kid would probably be the parts with Grogu being cute. And that's really it. And they kind of overstay their welcome a little bit too. There's a part where like Mando goes down and it's all about Grogu trying to like rejuvenate him from the poison he has or whatever. And it just focuses on Grogu for like 25 to 30 minutes straight. And it's supposed to be like subtle, but it's just it overstays its welcome quite a bit. I'd say the best part of the movie was the beginning. The first 10 minutes of the movie, it starts out like a John Wick movie, like where he's like in the shadows, headshotting people and coming out using his flamethrower to distract people and then beating the shit out of a couple guards. Like, those are the best parts of the movie. And then from there on, it kind of like dives into like a story of him having to help the Huts and all this bullshit to get to the guy he's trying to get to. And that would have been okay if it was in episodic form. So if this was just like a couple episodes of the Mando show, I would have been like, okay, whatever, that's fine. It's just a throwaway episode or two. This felt like 4 episodes of the show, but like pointless episodes. It just felt like, okay, where is this going? It almost feels like it's just a lead in to season 4 of The Mandalorian. And that's kind of how I feel about like the whole thing. I feel like people who are just fans of Mandalorian, they're gonna watch season 1, 2, and 3, and then they're gonna just like watch Grogu and Mando like a movie on Disney Plus, and then it's just gonna lead you into season 4 pretty much. But I feel like it's gonna be rough because it has so many things in the movie that are like all fan service. So things that you have to like look up and look into and everything. It's again, it's just like a Marvel movie. It's like going to see a Marvel movie. And again, maybe that's my fault, but I definitely feel like Mandalorian was more for the casual fan. It felt like it was more like on its own and it's doing its own thing. And I understand Mando is such a big character now that you have to kind of implement him into the main story a lot more, but it just feels like it alienates people like me. And going forward, I just don't know if I care about the Mandalorian as a whole anymore. That's kind of the worst thing that could have happened here, is like making people not care about that character anymore. So I would say this movie's like a 6 out of 10. I don't want to spoil too much, but it's a lot of CGI, and to be honest, like you got a couple like big names in here, like Sigourney Weaver's in the movie, as well as Jeremy Allen White. He plays Rod of the Hutt, and his voice acting is horrible in this. Like he literally, his whole like plot point is that he's not his father Jabba. I'm not my father. I'm not Jabba the Hutt. I'm better than that. I'm not Jabba. He says it so many times. It just kind of just, it feels like it's just bad writing. It just feels like it's just nonstop bad writing, and they're just extending it to extend it. It just was, I wasn't a huge fan. The action was okay. Like I said, the first 10 minutes of the movie were amazing. It's like 10 out of 10 in the first 10 minutes. But after that, it just slowly loses points like throughout the whole movie. I started looking at my watch about, I don't know, about halfway through the movie, I'd say. About an hour in, I was like, okay, I'm kind of bored. Like this whole mission he's on is just boring as fuck. There's a couple really good like scenes where he's flying the ship and taking people out, but again, it just feels like it's not enough. Like it just feels like he's being chased by these three fighter pilots or whatever they are, these three jets or whatever, and he outmaneuvers them, kills them, but it's like it's only like two guys that he takes out, and it just feels like there was at least so much more to do. You know what I mean? There's so many more moments that could have been, just capitalized on action wise, and they just didn't do it for me. I just wasn't a fan. I felt like Sigourney Weaver was phoned in as fuck. I felt like it just felt like a standalone bullshit movie. And not like one of those standalone movies like you'd see from DC where they do like their own like little like Mask of the Phantasm, you know what I mean? It wasn't like that where it's actually good to watch and it's fun to watch on its own. This felt like it was trying to implement itself into something, and I just don't care. I just don't care enough. It just felt like nostalgia bait to me. And even my buddy, he was like, I'll give it a 7 out of 10. It's not like the best thing I've ever seen at all. So that's kind of where I stand on it. Hey, what's up, guys? This is Post Sausage. I totally didn't mention it in the review for this, but I thought the music was outstanding. Like that's the best part of the movie. There's a lot of like beats and like bumping, and like it's just like I don't know how to explain like exactly what kind of music it is, but it's like just really good beats. And then you'd have like the Mandalorian, like the weird noise in the background, and it combined really well. So the music was top tier in this movie. And there were some moments where like the scenery was pretty good. Like there was a part where he's landing into a city. It's like it's very neon lights, and like it looks very like Night City like from Cyberpunk. And it's just like the music is bumping, and it's just kind of slowly panning the camera, showing the whole place while he's landing in, and it looks really nice. So there's a few moments like that definitely that give this movie the 6 out of 10, that help it be better than nothing. At least I would say just wait for this to go to Disney Plus, because ironically it feels like a Disney Plus show on the big screen pretty much. It's just kind of there. It's just more Disney slop in my opinion. So other than that, have a good day, guys. Love you. Bye.